if I've got a new podcast listener listening now, what metrics do you think they should and should not look at as they're growing their show?
So I actually think downloads is a very mediocre metric. It's not bad. Having a lot of downloads is great. There's certainly nothing wrong with that. But if your podcast, for example, is driven by a back end, higher ticket sale, for example. And even though I ran a 7-figure sales podcast, I hate the term sale, because like when I get on the phone with an investor, I don't pitch. I never pitch. It's not a hard sell. It's a conversation. We're talking. If the deal's right for you, great. If it's not, that's great too. Let's still be friends type of thing. But you really, I think, need to look at the appropriate metrics for your business. So for me, my goal is growing my email list and growing my investor list. Those are similar, but slightly different things because I have different email lists. There's general email lists, and then there's investor lists. And I keep an eye on how many people join either list on any given week is how we track it. And you can set up back-end automations through ActiveCampaign. I think you use ActiveCampaign. I'm not really sure, but great for automations and tracking data. And that's taken me a lot of time to learn and build because I've seen that, there's this data point that I don't have that I would really like to see, but I don't want to manually collect all this stuff all the time. So how can I build a system that will just tell me the answer, or at least set it up so that there's like 5 clicks till I get the answer? You can't automate 100% of everything, but how close can you get? So looking at the right goals for your business. If you've got a business on the back end that is the purpose for your podcast, then how many leads is it bringing you? How well qualified are the leads? How motivated are they? And if I compare, I had also previously spent a lot of time, invested a lot of time in being active on the Bigger Pockets forums. And I got a pretty decent number of potential investor leads through the Bigger Pockets forums. And I tracked all this through kind of back-end automation. 0 of those people wound up investing with me. And that's totally fine. They certainly don't need to. I don't hold it against them. But that came to a business decision on my part where, okay, I'm not wasting my time on Bigger Pockets anymore. I'm going to focus on the thing that makes the difference. So that's the value of knowing the right metrics in your business. You're never going to have 100% perfect information. Every month is up and down, whether you're looking at download numbers. Man, sometimes you're having a month that I don't know what happened, but huge spike in listenership. And then the next month it's down and you're like, oh man, I didn't pick up enough people. But if you keep plugging away, you'll keep growing. But really focus on the right metrics for your business, which for mine is effectively leads.
Okay. So it's in general, the metrics that are less important might be the number of downloads that we have. It might be the number of listeners we have in some cases, and it might be the number of ratings and reviews we have. Although those things can be beneficial, the things that seem to be the most important is how big is our email list growing? And you mentioned it's in any given week by week by week, which was interesting. You mentioned your investor list, which I think would be a customer list as well for, in general, because some people are looking for passive investors, some people are looking for clients. And you also mentioned briefly how many actual investors, how much of these people end up buying from me, how much of these people end up passively investing in my next opportunity. And you even talked about how your efforts on Bigger Pockets really got you a lot of the things, but it didn't specifically get you the one most important thing. And so you diverted that Bigger Pockets attention more toward podcasting and other things that are very, very interesting.